talking about
Hold on. I gotta go further. We need to clip this. What I'm about to say.
Okay, but
hold on. I want you to land it. I want you to land your plane. But right now, my soul is saying I gotta do this.
All right, go ahead.
As an anniversary gift to me and my wife, if you are watching this show right now and you subscribe to TYT, unsubscribe, and you need to get a paid subscription to Ben Dixon right now. If you love us, if you're serious about progressive policies, and you won't just do it, you will screenshot me saying this and tag Cenk in it, and Anna in it, and TYT in it, and Rebel HQ, and share it.
Someone was pointing out that recently it's gotten even worse over at the Young Turks as far as their actual view count is concerned. And if you want to quickly look over here, Zach, I mean, this is just embarrassing. Last night was an Anna only episode. Cenk was not on there. I think someone else, like maybe John Idarola or something, was there, but not Cenk. It was Anna. And look at these numbers. I mean, this is unironically worse than what the Vanguard is doing, guys. 11,000, 32,000, 27,000, 19,000, 16,000, 37,000. Embarrassing. And like I said, guys, it seems like they haven't transferred a single right-wing audience member over to the Young Turks. Cenk's whole theory was of the case is like, oh, if I go on Tim Pool, and if I go on Patrick Bet-David, and if Anna goes on Glenn Beck, and we cover all these right-wing shows and pander hardcore to their audience, then some of those people are going to follow us back to Young Turks. Does it look like that's happened at all, Zach, even remotely? I think it's actually gone down since before then.
Oh, man. Oh, my goodness. Yeah, thank you for pulling this up, Gavin, because I think it's indicative. Now, people will be like, oh, well, they put out a lot more episodes than you guys do. And, you know, all in all, on a day, I'm sure they're getting way more views than you. And I'll say, of course they are. Of course they are. Gavin and I have 66,000 subscribers on YouTube. We don't have a single employee. Okay, we had to take yesterday off because we were so tired and overworked that we were editing. We were looking for shit. We're watching at 3 times the speed to make sure we don't miss anything for you guys. We're constantly awake at Twitter. We're not going to be able to put a good show together for you guys. You know what I mean? That's how spread thin we are because we work so freaking hard for you guys, and we love to. We're happy to do it, right? It's a privilege to us. Anna and Cenk, they think that it's something that you owe them over there. Anyway, they have 6 million subscribers. They have 75 employees, and this is what their output looks like. It's an absolute travesty, right? It's an absolute disgrace.
Such a great point from E. Smith. Thank you for the $9.99. I was going to sort of make this point myself, E. Smith. You beat me to the punch. After spending all cycle criticizing Kamala for trying to appeal to Republicans, TYT is now on a right-wing media tour to appeal to Republicans. And exactly as it is the case with Democrats and with politics, we see that once again, this strategy is totally and completely failed. It's absolutely an abject failure. Has TYT gotten any bigger? No. Do they have more live viewers? No. Do they have more success when they release a clip? No. Absolutely not. It's completely backfired, just like it does for the Democrats and their politicians every single time they try it. Why? Because ceding ground to the Republican Party and pandering to them is never going to succeed. It's an abject failure of a strategy. We see it not only in the context of media, but in the context of politics, actual electoral politics. This was totally shocking to me when it came across my feed. I was not necessarily expecting it to occur in such a dramatic fashion, although, to be honest, I did have a feeling this was coming. We reacted to it briefly, but Mondale Robinson actually did release a statement on X about 2 weeks ago, maybe 1 week ago, pushing back on Cenk's logic, pushing back on his, line of bullshit about pandering to MAGA, essentially. But as you guys are about to see, this was a pretty dramatic and seemingly unexpected way in which Mondale decided to go about quitting the Young Turks live on Ben's broadcast. So do you want to take a look, Zach?
Yeah, absolutely. Let's get right into this.
I will do no more work. I don't know why. Something just said I will do no more work with TYT though. In its current capacity, I will.
Oh wow, bro!
No more content. I will be on no more shows. It's over for me. Like something just told me I have to say that, and I need to put it on Twitter. I need to text Cenk and Anna. Y'all can't call me for no more shows. I'm done with
what?
It. Yeah, in real life.
Are you serious?
I'm serious.
Damn, that's 100.
I tell people, past couple years I've been taking paychecks from TYT. At this moment, I feel disgusted by that, dog. I don't like where TYT is right now. TYT is starting to act like, and listen, I'm telling people right now, I have not severed my relationship with TYT. I'm being a buck. So what I'm saying right now might just end that relationship.
Whoa.
I'm just saying what I gotta say.
It's the anniversary night, nigga. We're not doing a relationship ending
Which can we pause it?
tonight.
No.
No.
That's what's crazy about this, guys. I watched this, and Gavin mentioned it to me also. This is the guy's anniversary, right? So clearly he takes this seriously. Otherwise, he wouldn't have shown up on the broadcast, right? On the night of his anniversary of marriage, this guy is like, I've had enough. I have to still come on this broadcast and be like, no more. No more can I be associated with Cenk and Ana after they've gone. And I think the final straw was likely their coverage of the subway incident with the murderer Daniel Penny, whatever the that asshole's name was. He killed a man in broad daylight and just got acquitted of all charges. Pretty ridiculous. And Ana Kasparian went on and defended him and also slandered Emma Vigeland for trying to stand up for people who might be having mental episodes on the subway, saying they deserve the right to live. Pretty shockingly bold take from her.
So I'm with my family and I'm talking to our extended family. I don't really know what's going on over there, dog. Like I don't know if they had some kind of meeting or was it the Christmas party or what, where they decided that we need to do what the Joe Scarborough did that cost them so many viewers, to say that we're gonna.
And by the way, that's such a great point from Mondale there. Basically, Cenk and Ana are doing the YouTube equivalent of what Morning Joe and Mika Brzezinski did at MSNBC. And Zach, how did that turn out for them? Not well at all. It's crazy that they would follow in these footsteps when Joe and Mika already proved that the strategy fails. They lost 40% of their audience within the next 20 minutes of the live coverage on Morning Joe after announcing that they had become bootlicking traders and that they had, got their Ask Tomorrow logo to kiss the ring, right? People didn't fuck with that. It's not like a bunch of Republicans started watching Morning Joe. Are you kidding me? It was completely ridiculous, and their viewers hated it. I genuinely don't understand why Cenk and Ana thought that something else would happen in their case. What I ultimately am starting to believe is basically what you posited earlier, Zach, that Ana has really dragged Cenk to this position, kicking and screaming. But we'll talk more about that in a second.
Yes, I think that Cenk is a bad businessman, but I think he's still a businessman that understands what's happening. And if you spend months and months and months and months and months and months and months telling your audience that a guy is a Nazi and telling everybody that he's a traitor, it's going to be really hard to turn around on a dime and be like, actually, I had lunch with him. He was pretty cool. It's like, oh, well, if you were capable of having lunch with the guy, shouldn't you have done that, maybe 8 years ago and told everybody then, oh, actually, he's not a Nazi, he's not Hitler, but you wanted to wind everybody up and you wanted them to be hysterical so they would feed your 24-hour news cycle. And now, the jig is up, basically, right? Whatever that fucking expression is.
I think that's it.
Yeah, but you know what I mean? It's like the chickens have come home to roost for them. And now MSNBC is down so bad because of their poor business decisions, because of the fact that Morning Joe was so desperate for access. And so potentially they say fearful for their own lives. I don't really buy it. I think they just went down to Donald Trump's Mar-a-Lago because they were hopeful that they were going to be able to, really pivot into the next era and that they wouldn't be excluded from having access on MSNBC. And it blew up in their face. And now Elon Musk, Donald Trump's right-hand man, the guy who bought himself into the Oval Office, is speculating, oh, maybe I'll buy MSNBC. Oh, maybe with, my winnings from Dogecoin, I'm going to just purchase MSNBC. You know what I mean? How humiliating for them. Even with Cenk's bad business acumen, and we're going to get to more of his exploitative instincts, his capitalist instincts later on in the broadcast specifically, right? Ben Dixon, when he was on our show, he already pointed out the fact that Cenk tried to fuck him during their contract negotiations, but he'd already been through it enough that he had a lawyer and he was like, no, fuck this. We're not doing that. You know what I mean? So we've even in spite of all that, I don't think he's quite dumb enough to go down the MSNBC rabbit hole of death unless he was desperate, unless Ana forced him to.
Cover Trump, Ana, and Cenk showing up in the way they showing up. It ain't worth for me. I'm never gonna be quiet. So if they say, okay, you can't be on our shows no more, then I don't give a damn, because I'm not gonna be quiet about the way that they're showing up right now. You took too much.
How are they showing up, Mondale?
Like MAGA. Like an extension of damn Trump. Like, bro,
you need to
this idea that these people ain't white supremacists like normalizing Trump supporters as if they ain't racist, dog. I am not okay with this. I am not. We are not gonna. I'm not gonna be good with Joe Scarborough and Mika Brzezinski or Cenk or Anna or anybody pretending that these people aren't threatening our lives. I'm a black person first. They can keep that money for them videos. I'll go back.
And I really appreciate Mondale being like, this is actual real life shit we're talking about here with actual consequences. There's a lot of people in media. Everyone does it to some extent, but there's a lot of people in media, and I think no one more so than Cenk and Anna recently, that have really lost the plot and now just kind of act like politics is a football game or something. Like, let's talk about it, let's argue about it, and then once that's over, we'll get a beer. It's like, bro, this is not just something that you debate and then have a beer. Like, the reason why people get so worked up about this shit is because it actually affects their fucking life. It affects their fucking life. It affects their children's life. If you're a parent, then yeah, these policies are going to have massive impact on your children's lives for the rest of their life. And to act like, oh, who cares? It's just, let's have a beer, whatever. Tim Pool, whatever. Patrick Bet-David, whatever. Elon Musk, whatever. Fascist piece of shit who's going to take over this country and fucking destroy it. Who cares? Glenn Beck, yeah. Wild, right? So I do appreciate Mondale reminding us all, like, hey, man, like, to me, this shit does fucking matter. Like, to my community, this shit actually is really fucking important, especially when a fascist-ass piece of shit, a racist piece of dog shit, white supremacist like Donald Trump is in charge of the country and in charge of the tone of our discourse. Yeah, kind of important to resist that.
To kissing my wife and not having it create videos in the afternoon. I don't care. It's not what I'm not comfortable. We should all be mad. That was the last beacon other than Democracy Now! And Free Speech TV.
That's right.
Talking about real progressive media. Y'all took too much money from the ethos. Y'all took too much money with too many billions of views to be doing what y'all doing right now. So I don't know who offered you a check or which check you're trying to get. But I'm disgusted by it as a contributor and a person who helped grow Rebel HQ, another money source for y'all, to over 1 million followers, dog. I average 30 million views a year on Rebel HQ myself. None of those views join my personal YouTube channel or nothing. So the pennies that they give me is not enough to make me sell my soul. I don't know what's going on. And if y'all are cool with it, I need to question y'all bona fides. And I'm not talking about YouTube personally. I'm talking about everybody who say they're part of the Squirrel Gang, the Dragon Squad. I need to know what's going on. We should be asking these questions, dog. And we shouldn't be asking these questions with questions. We should be asking these questions with the lack of subscriptions.
That's right.
And Gavin, I want to get your take on this, right? Because it's something that we don't have direct experience with. You and I, we own the Vanguard, right? Gavin and I are a partnership, right? If you look at any of our shit, it's me and Gavin. There's no LLC, really. There's no like parent company. There's no investors. There's no sponsors or any of that. It's just the two of us. So everything that we do to grow the Vanguard belongs to us and it belongs to you guys, right? We belong to our audience. Our audience supports us, all of that stuff. We walk that walk. 100%. What's crazy to me, guys, is that TYT, they don't just, sponsor other content creators and help uplift them. Like Mondale just said, he made 30 million views for them in a single year, helped them get to 1 million subscribers on Rebel HQ, one of their YouTube channels that does better, really, I feel like, than the home than the home channel at times, right? Where they have a lot more luck getting clips that go viral. And he doesn't get to see any long-term ROI from that, right? Like, obviously, he has his name, but he built his name. I'm pretty sure I read that guy was a mayor before he worked for TYT.
They called him Mayor Mondale. I don't know if he actually was.
No, he was a mayor. I read about him. I wasn't sure 100% if it was the same guy. But yes, he was mayor of, I believe, a small town, and that's how he got connected with TYT, because he had progressive politics. Anyway, that 30 million views, guys, in 1 year, that's a lot. It's insane as somebody who does this for a living. And it's devastating to think about how he is the mayor. What the heck?
Seriously?
He is the mayor of Enfield, North Carolina. That's crazy. Well, mayor.
Yeah, he is literally the mayor currently.
Mayor Robinson.
No wonder he fucking quit TYT. He's like, I have a township to look over. Fuck
That's
this
crazy.
company.
Yeah, well, honestly, Yeah, what the fuck? TYT didn't deserve that guy to begin with. And that's the thing. They were just poaching his clout. They were just like, oh, here's a guy that's a progressive mayor. He's going to make compelling content for us. We'll give him pennies, as he said, and then we'll own the rights to all that material, and we're not going to allow him to leave with, those viewers. We were just talking about how John Iadarola is in a rock and a hard place, man. It is so hard to build a YouTube channel up from nothing in the year 2024. It's about to be 2025. The Damage Report is his baby. Nobody gives a fuck about Cenk or Anna when they tune into the Damage Report. John Iadarola actually gives really good progressive left analysis of the news. He's never abandoned trans people. He's never fear-mongered about homelessness. He's never said we need to put more people in jail or more cops on the street, right? And yet he is going to have to part ways with all of that if he decides to leave TYT. He won't know what his financial future looks like. He won't know if his audience is going to follow him. It will be incumbent on all of us to support people like John Iadarola, to support people like Francesca Fiorentini, who hosts the Bitchuation Room. You guys should subscribe to that. If they leave, that's what we'll fucking have to do, right? We want to encourage people to leave TYT behind, but we have to make it safe. Yeah. And we have to encourage them and let them know, like, dude, there are a lot of people who care about you. You guys are what make TYT possible. Fuck Cenk and Anna. Cenk's just trying to exploit you and hold you down.
Yeah, 100%. And by the way, it's for that reason that I never would have judged, Mondale. I never would have judged any of these people if they had decided to stay with the Young Turks. That's my honest take, guys. Like, I have nothing against John Iadarola. I have nothing against Francesca. I'm not saying like you guys need to leave the Young Turks. If you don't resign right now, then your integrity is in the trash. Like, that's not how I look at this kind of thing. In the same way that I know people who work for Amazon or, any other corporation, Walmart, like, it's not their fault. People need work, especially in media right now. It's absolutely brutal out there, guys. There's really not like a lot of other progressive companies that are going to be there to pick these people up when/if they exit. And that honestly makes Mondale Robinson's decision to do what he did all the more admirable, in my opinion. I didn't realize this guy was still a mayor of a town. So I'm hoping that he has a salary from that gig. I know it's a small town, but I'm hoping he still gets paid enough. I'm hoping that made this less of a financial blow than it might have otherwise been to someone whose job was solely TYT. But yeah, just to clarify, it's not like we have anything against, Dr. Rashad Ritchie or Francesca or J.R. Jackson, some of the folks that still remain at TYT, not only because, they probably need the money, just like how we all need the money from our job. If someone took away my job, I don't know what the fuck I would do. You know what I mean? But also, they really are the last people there that are even have the opportunity to save Cenk and Anna from themselves. The last people left that could sit down Cenk and Anna and say, guys, you don't know what the fuck you're doing, but you need to stop. And it's not just because we're woker than you, but you're literally sacrificing this project that we've all built together over the course of decades now, guys. My entire adult life, literally my entire adult life, I'm 26 years old. Every single year of being an adult, I've been a TYT viewer. I've literally listened to this media company. This is bigger than Cenk and Anna. It's something bigger than any of us, honestly. And that's part of the reason why it's so important that we talk about it day after day, that we, harp away ad nauseum on the de-evolution of this brand of progressivism and what Cenk and Anna used to contribute to the media scene. But, just to reiterate, I do think it's even more admirable that Mondale is drawing a line in the sand and saying, fuck no, I'm not going to make you another single more cent. I'm not going to generate any more profit for this company of turncoats. Fuck you guys.
Yeah, I wasn't familiar with Mayor Robinson, I should say, until maybe a few days ago when somebody notified us that he had spoken out and disagreed with Cenk publicly in the past. And I was like, oh, we should find out who this Mondale Robinson guy is. And then everybody started sending us this clip from the Ben Dixon show. Everything I find out about this guy makes me more impressed by him. And I'm still not sure who the man in the middle is. I don't know if he's a regular guest on Ben Dixon's show.
Yeah, probably.
But anyway, do you want to keep plowing right into this?
Yes, absolutely.
That's right. In that manner, I don't give you enough to pay nobody's bill, but I subscribe at $100 a month. That's a big level from one person when you got over 1 billion views. I cannot send that $100 a month to TYT. As long as they're acting as if Donald Trump followers aren't the same people who are trying to kill me and my wife. And that is not hyperbole. I live in segregated world because I'm still getting death threats. The FBI had to get involved to get me my email back because I was hacked by these people. In real life, in this cycle. I've never thought I would say thank you to.
And by the way, apparently that's because he got a Confederate monument taken down as mayor. That was one of the first things he did after becoming elected to that position. He said, fuck this Confederate statue in our town square or whatever. And yeah, a bunch of racist ass pieces of shit white people probably sent him death threats. So yeah, again, this is actually real life for this person. Kind of matters.
Yeah, and it just shows how out of touch and removed Cenk and Ana are, right? Like you said, it's like team sports for them. Like we try and do our little professional wrestling ringside commentary bit for you guys to make people pay attention to what's happening. But we always, when the rubber meets the road, we let you guys know what's up. We let you know where we stand on every single issue, and we never bullshit anything. Okay, we're like, yeah, dude, this is real shit for real people, and maybe we don't have lived experience with that, but we're human beings with empathy, and we understand how to have feelings for people who have experiences that are not our own. Right? That's what we need from people who consider themselves progressives. That's how you know somebody else is in this fight. I haven't never walked in your shoes, but I'm going to try my best to help you along your way, just like you're going to help me along my way. And if you have a rougher road, I'm going to try and smooth it out for you, right? That's collectivism. That's what we're all supposedly rooting for, right? We all have a little bit of a different understanding, but it all comes back to track practice. Everybody's run at track practice, right? Well, when you race, it's all staggered, right? So you can run the same distance. That's life. Cenk and Ana, it's so clear that they just want to they just want to get in their car and cheat. You know what I'm saying?
100%. And by the way, huge shout out to you, Race Car. Thanks for the $20. Man, guys, these past few episodes have been intense. Keep up the holy cause. Shout out to you, bro. Always love seeing you in the chat. Just wanted to pause the show really quickly to shout out Race Car and say thank you. They have been intense. The situation is getting intense, guys. It's honestly like I feel like we're almost in over our heads here at the Vanguard. It's like we kind of low-key did have something to do with this whole shit popping off.
We had a lot to do.
We aggressively called out TYT. We made sure that they were going to have to suffer the consequences of doing this right-wing grift. And holy shit, like I never thought it would get this far. Like I never thought that it would actually help result in the crumbling of an empire. But either way, shout out to you, Race Car. Really appreciate that. And let's keep going.
Shout out to Race Car. You helped save me from the midst of my clumsy analogy I couldn't quite get out of, but you guys picked up what I was putting down.
The FBI agent. The FBI agent called me and was like, you're in danger. Your wife can't travel by herself. So these people, and out of love and respect for my wife, I'm obligated to do it today. I'm asking real questions. Cenk, Ana, and also TYT. What are we doing?
You know what I mean? So my thing is, for our viewers who have not watched that, could we get some exacts? And maybe we can put that and compile that into what exactly, because I like TYT. I'm over here I hate to be like this, but I'm over here kind of innocent. Whenever I turn on TYT, I see some shit that I like. And I'm like, oh, yeah, well, because I don't watch them every day, all day. I don't watch.
No, that's not what we're talking about. We're not talking about TYT. I mean, there are great progressive ideologies on TYT, right?
Generally speaking, yes.
But you cannot disconnect TYT from Cenk and Ana's behavior since this election happened.
That's right.
So this is specific talking points that
these ain't talking points, but they doing videos, creating content, talking about, well, I met one person who changed my heart. He's a Trump voter, and he wasn't I don't care about that, dog. We know what's going on. There have been real thought leaders, people who are professors at college who White Rural Rage was written this election cycle. And those brothers who wrote that, two white professors from the University of Maryland and other spaces, and yeah. So let's just leave it there. Who articulated what it means to be a Trump supporter. I'm not okay with it, dog. And I think this idea that saying or calling white supremacy is equated to calling yourself closed-minded is wrong. We don't want TYT to be closed-minded. Where's the energy you had before the election outcome? Why now is it not okay to call?
And I'll remind Mayor Robinson that I would say, where was Cenk's energy? Because Ana, she's been on this path for a while now. I would say for at least the past couple of years. This is not just something that switched after the election. It seems like, to me, here's what happened. And we've played you guys a couple of clips that illustrated this dynamic. And we'll get back to that video obviously in a little bit. But it seems like Cenk really does think that Donald Trump is a fascist, or at least he did before the election. Anna was already going off on her right-wing arc. I predicted she was going to leave the Young Turks. I still think it's possible. But then Trump wins the election. Cenk Uygur almost kind of surrenders behind the scene to Anna and says, all right, not only do you win, but your ideology clearly has won. We're going to go in your way. You're the captain of the ship now as far as the ideology goes. I'm going to forget what I said a week ago about Donald Trump being a fascist. Now let's go on Patrick Bet-David, Tim Pool, Julian Michaels, Glenn Beck, yada, 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 yada. Let's pander. Let's try to become a populist, right-wing, MAGA adjacent kind of show, whatever you want to call it. That's what I see happening. But I do feel like the shift in Anna occurred a lot longer ago than Cenk. I feel like in his heart of hearts, Cenk still does believe that Donald Trump is a threat and that MAGA still does need to be resisted, but he's almost sort of capitulated to Anna and her worldview over the last month or so since Trump's election. And I'm not saying that just to give Cenk a pass. Not at all. He's fully responsible for the union busting stuff. He's fully responsible for the Katzenberg investment. A lot of the terrible decisions that have made TYT as shitty as it is nowadays are 100% Cenk's fault. So I'm not at all trying to blame everything on Anna or, put all the blame at her feet or whatever. All I'm saying is that when it comes to Cenk's tone as it relates to Donald Trump, there very clearly was a shift before and after the election. One of the clips that I think speaks to that the most is the one in which Ana Kasparian refuses to call Trump a fascist, and Cenk had a meltdown, pushed back really hardcore. It's like, what the hell are you talking about? There was another clip that comes to mind where Ana Kasparian was going off on shows like ours from about a week before the election, and Cenk says, this is a huge disagreement we have. You get obsessed with these smaller channels. You get really hung up on these lefty, tiny channels that want to talk shit. It's a disagreement. Now he sounds exactly like she did. Do you remember that clip, Zac?
Oh, 100%. I also watched him even try. I don't know if they recorded it before the election or after the election, but it was right around the pivot. He even debated the trigonometry guys about whether or not Trump was a fascist. And that was right around the time that Anna was really starting to, join cohorts with the trigonometry guys. And I completely agree with you, Gavin. All I'll add is this. I think that what it really fundamentally comes down to is Cenk is a businessman. He is a capitalist, and he's always been a capitalist, and he is going to chase the money. And I want to fortify that with a couple of things. I think you're 100% right. Anna's pivot has been authentic, right? I think that she was manipulated by her surroundings and the people around her from the time that she was young to adopt a progressive agenda that really wasn't authentic to her. And as she's gotten older and developed more of a backbone, she's decided, you know what? No, I'm more of a NIMBY, right-leaning, Karen liberal, 100%. And I think that is 100% authentic. I think that deep down in her core, that is what she believes. She doesn't really like trans women. She thinks it's okay as long as they stay away from her. But after that, it's a bridge too far. That is her genuine, authentic politics. I think that Cenk has, I don't care what his politics are. I think that at the end of the day, he'll change and pivot his politics no matter what to do what he thinks is going to make more money for TYT, even though it won't. One thing that you brought up to me, Gavin, because you're more of a TYT historian than I am, is that there was a time when they were really rivaling Alex Jones as one of the biggest YouTubers, right, to cover anything adjacent to like non-corporate media, right? And it was really a big deal that they were like, guys, we're battling with Alex Jones. We want to be the messengers, right? At that time, they were really on equal footing with a show like Joe Rogan. And what I think Cenk realizes is that while he's watching guys like Hassan Piker, who we'll get into later, don't go anywhere if you want to see some serious tea spilled by Hassan Piker that we didn't put in the headline to make you guys wait around. What you can see is that when he sees Haas on, Pod Save America, on CNN, and they're talking about how, are you the answer to being the next Joe Rogan? Cenk is bleeding out of his ears with steam coming in every direction because he's like, guys, I was the next Joe Rogan from the right, but it missed him by. He made a bunch of bad opportunities, and now he's like, how do I get that back? Joe Rogan has gone to the right. All these other popular personalities have gone to the right. All of these channels who have left me by have gone to the right, and now my own co-host is flirting with all of those things. He's like, the only way to salvage my company, right? Because he can't afford to lose Anna. If he loses Anna, it's Jover. I know we talk about like how he could be perfectly successful as like a one-man live streamer in his house. That's not what Cenk wants. Cenk wants a network, right? So to him, that would seem like a failure. I also think she would financially wreck him on the way out because deep down, I believe she probably has a decent chunk of stake in TYT, and that's what's kept her around for so long. I don't have any evidence for that. That's just business speculation, but I totally agree with the point that you were making, Gavin.
Hell yeah.
Oh, fascism. Right now, it's not okay to call these people who won't even question or saying that J6ers are heroes and hostages. Why is it okay?
Mondale, Anna, like Anna's doing this though, like
Anna's father going.
Anna's leading the way in it. Hang on, I'll pull up a.
Wow, bro, really? I didn't hear enough of what she said. What did she say? Like,
there you go.
Like just being on Glenn Beck is different. If you're going Glenn Beck,
Someone needs to get this guy a subscription to the Vanguard.
Look
my
out
dude,
the door.
my dude. You've missed so many bangers. You don't know what Anna's been saying? If only you'd been subscribed to the Vanguard, you would know so much more than you'd ever want to know, honestly, about Anna's trajectory.
Somebody out there should cut a Vanguard montage, the TLDR on the downward spiral of the Young Turks.
Yep. Oh, it's enormous. Like every time I'm like, oh shit, I want to reference this specific clip of Cenk and Ana that we talked about a couple weeks or months ago. It's impossible to find it now, guys, because there's so many meltdowns. There's so many embarrassing moments. It's really genuinely insane.
Oh, I guess this guy's name is Marcus. I wasn't familiar with him, but I guess he's a business owner.
Hell yeah.
And
I think someone said he does some music stuff too, maybe.
Oh, he must be busy and not like an aggressive online personality like us. That makes sense.
I don't even think he seems like he's all that. Like I don't even really think he's a political commentator. It doesn't seem like it.
Yeah, I wasn't
knows,
familiar
though?
with this guy at all. I'm sorry.
Yeah, me neither.
cussing his ass out.
Talking about individuals.
And
All
I'm
right.
not trying to make up for nobody. I'm just
Hold
like,
on, listen, Marcus, listen.
all right.
Here we go.
In reality, we're talking about individuals whose politics is mostly based on, some fringe issue or some cultural issue that they have. It's not just that they care about that issue. It's that they've taken that issue and they've made it part of their identity, the core of who they are.
Mhm.
And it's almost like what you would expect from religious zealots. And so there's a fundamentalism involved in the way that they treat these issues, and there's no room to negotiate. There's no room.
She's talking about the left.
To maybe consider the thoughts and concerns of individuals. And so as they become more and more kind of like authoritarian in what they demand, they are pushing people away. And there are some issues in which the rights of one group might actually end up conflicting with the rights of another group, depending on what type of legislation you're pursuing. And so, of course, this has come up with.
And she's talking about trans people, homeless people, criminals.
The trans issue. And
literally the most
I've
powerless
always been
people.
supportive
Yeah.
of the transgender community. But when the
So
rights
what?
of transgender people, particularly transgender women, start to cause some tension with the rights and freedoms of women or the perceived safety of women, well, let's have a conversation and avoid assuming the worst of the people who want to have that
perceive
conversation.
white women are in danger. Bro, listen, let me tell you something. This woman, that statement in itself is so dangerous. And that ain't even it. Like if you just pull up some of the stuff she put on her Instagram, all of that is crazy enough, bro. I am disgusted with this willing to play games and the fact that they're saying that we are zealots, we are religious zealots on the left. Come on, bro.
To Glenn Beck. To Glenn Beck, right? The king of religious zealotry in conservative media, right? Here, but it's not that they're going on these platforms, it's that they're going on these platforms and they're trying to make nice with people who are literally trying to destroy not only democracy, because some people don't care about democracy. I do, but they're also actively trying to destroy the lives of 20 million of the migrant working class, right? Let's not talk about all the everyone they're going to, what they're doing with Obama.
Also crazy, just to add this in, I feel like, Gavin, you and I happen to know Glenn Beck because we grew up in the Bible Belt and we were really molded by Tea Party backdrop to our upbringing. A lot of people might not be familiar with just how deeply deranged and hysterically problematic Glenn Beck is. Not only is he a religious evangelist, right? This guy has the politics of like Mike Pompeo. This guy is an anti-Semite, even though he loves Israel. He was too beyond the pale for Fox News in 2012. Okay, he was like racist and unhinged and a complete lunatic. And we played a clip from not that long ago of Anna back before she lost her mind, basically pontificating at how in that era they even allowed Glenn Beck to be on TV, given how openly racist and hateful he was. But apparently now he's not a religious zealot, which he absolutely is. It's the left. It's the activist. And she's now used activist as like a side of a slur.
Yeah, 100%. And yeah, Glenn Beck is, I wouldn't say he's quite as insane as Alex Jones, but the dude has really had his moments. Like he's not at all respectable or intellectual or even populist Republican.
No.
He's literally just the worst of the worst, like scum of the Bush era.
He's like Rush Limbaugh.
And then, yeah, and he's just a total loser. And honestly, it specifically breaks my heart to see Anna had this conversation with Glenn Beck, because I think I mentioned this on the show, but some of the very first TYT content I ever remember watching was them savaging Glenn Beck and savaging the Blaze. I think it was Glenn Beck. It might have been Rush Limbaugh, but I think it was Glenn Beck who did this weird thing where he put himself in a human gyroscope and got spiraled around a bunch of times to deal with some like health issue or something. Yeah, that was it. Yeah, someone in chat mentioned it. Cenk used to make fun of Beck for using a gyroscope to battle mental illnesses. He was literally put his entire body in a machine that would spin him around 360. And Cenk would roast him fucking relentlessly for it. It was so funny. It was so funny. And that's the role that TYT used to play. They were the vicious left flank of the internet. And that doesn't mean I agreed with everything they ever said, guys. Don't get me wrong. Like, I'm sure that, Cenk and Anna both said some shit back in the day that I would have taken issue with or disagreed with. But still, it's just pathetic to see them go from the channel that would, again, just savor the opportunity to dunk on an idiot like Glenn Beck to now send out Ana Kasparian to launder his reputation, not even to disagree with the guy. They didn't debate at all.
Yeah, it was basically like an ass-kissing circle jerk where it was like, oh, wow, we're the cool kids. And then it's like, well, I won't say I'm at the cool kids table yet, because she's pissy about how she doesn't make enough fucking money, not because she doesn't like the company she's in.
Yep.
Care what they're doing with Social Security, what they're doing with Medicare, what they're doing with Medicaid. That's just the surface of it. The 50% of federal employees they're getting ready to boot out. You know how many black people that's going to hurt, right? So they're going to platforms making nice with people who have the most nefarious intentions for us at the moment. And thank you for saying it the way you did, Mondale, at the precise moment when we need progressive media on lock. We need progressive media hitting on all cylinders. And we got them instead over there trying to make nice with Glenn Beck and Tim Pool and all the rest of them. For what? For why? For clicks?
Talking about
Hold on. I gotta go further. We need to clip this, what I'm about to say.
Okay, but
hold on. I want you to land it. I want you to land your plane. But right now, my soul is saying I gotta do this.
All right, go ahead.
As an anniversary gift to me and my wife, if you are watching this show right now and you subscribe to TYT, unsubscribe, and you need to get a paid subscription to Ben Dixon right now. If you love us, if you're serious about progressive policies and you won't just do it, you will screenshot me saying this and tag Cenk in it and Anna in it and TYT in it and Rebel HQ and share it, because progressives cannot become Kamala Harris and the Democratic Party and the establishment, because when we do that, we become unsalty. And Ben Dixon can tell you what it means when the salt of the world loses its salt.
And I just want to jump right in here because I think it's so important what he did, not just because he had the courage to put his money literally where his mouth is, not only because he had the courage to be like, I'm not afraid of this, clip it, put it wherever you'd like. I do not want people subscribed to TYT anymore. I don't want my name and likeness to be used by that network anymore. And there is no way for anybody to watch that and be like, oh, this is just clickbait drama. This is just the gutter. This is just the trash, guys. Wow, way to not contribute to the progressive movement. No, this is the culmination of so much, of so many times when Cenk and Anna were dishonest, disloyal, money-grubbing whores for the establishment instead of fighting for what was right. And he, along with countless other shows, ourselves included, Ben Dixon included, we're like, guys, we cannot continue this. We cannot keep looking around and being like, what's wrong with the left? Yeah, it's the fact that we have a bunch of rats. Okay, we have a bunch of people who are looking at this situation and they're being like, how can I commodify and exploit people? We have enough folks in the world ready to commodify and exploit others. What we need is people who want to uplift and cherish others, right? It sounds hokey, sounds corny, but it's the goddamn truth, right? Cenk is a leech. He is a corporatist. He is a capitalist. He wants to take away value and extract it. He doesn't want to give anything back. We want to build a movement. Those things are antithetical. We want to celebrate, all folks. We want to uplift working people. right? Cenk wants to invest in properties around Los Angeles and endorse Rick Caruso. Do you see how that's antithetical? He wants to create fear amongst us. We want to combat fear amongst us and unify each other. And I'm really appreciative of guys like Mayor Robinson and Ben Dixon coming out here and being like, yo, we're going to put our money up front, and we're going to be like, yo, we don't care that we were able to make money alongside you. Fuck you.
Yep. And by the way, Zach, do you quickly want to take a look at this Hassan clip that we discussed earlier? We're going to get back to this, guys, because there's more great shit from Mondale and Ben Dixon and the other gentleman whose name we're still not sure of. I think it might be Marcus. So
Marcus was what chat told us. Yeah, sorry about that,
shout out to that guy. I just don't watch his content. But either way, you're 100% right, Zach, about Cenk being at his heart a corporatist, a capitalist, someone who wants to extract money from progressives and then lie about them as soon as they're no longer profitable for him and his company.
Look, I don't care about, Silly and Billy or whoever they are, right?